Listen. Those are gunshots. And these are people's homes on fire in a village in northern Rakhine, filmed on Wednesday by a Burmese human rights activist from a group we know and trust. The footage has just reached us. The Myanmar military calls these clearance operations in their hunt for what they say are extremist Muslim terrorists. In reality, it's a scorched earth policy that's driving tens of thousands of Rohingya from their homes. They have lived segregated from their Buddhist neighbours for decades and denied basic rights, apartheid in all but name. Now they're on the run, stateless and friendless and scared. As the Muslim world celebrates Eid ul-Adha, the Rohingya are sacrificing their sons, their daughters, their mothers and fathers.
Vigilantes, soldiers and police surrounded our village. They started shooting at the villagers, men, women, children, even at infants. They didn't spare anyone.
These are the survivors. We have to protect their identities.
Around 300 people died, 55 people were injured. Many small children went missing. They cut the breasts off some women.
The villagers say the military fired rockets into the homes to set them ablaze.
We lost our husbands, our children, our babies. Some of us managed to escape through the rice fields and reached here. All those remained in the village were killed. They burned the dead bodies. They burned the village mullah alive.
Sitwe is the Rakhine state capital, the Burmese Buddhists' front line. Here mosques lie in ruin, boarded up, overgrown, no Friday prayers. We have journalist visas but needed government permission to go to the conflict area. We spent hours traipsing from office to office. We were told an answer would take a week to come through.
So what do we do with this?
No journalist has reached North Rakhine to report independently. Eventually we got in to see a top state official. Muslim terrorists were trying to set up an Islamic state in his country, he said.
There's no Rohingya in our country, in our history. There's no Rohingya. No Rohingya.
Who
Rohingya.
are they?
So maybe they're from the people who came from the foreign country, foreigners. They haven't any identity.
But they've been here for many generations.
Right, but they haven't any identity.
1.1 million Rohingya don't have any identity because the government of Aung San Suu Kyi denies them all citizenship.
Hi, I'm Jonathan. What's your name? What's your name?
On condition we took a goon with us, the government official had finally given us permission to go to one of 13 camps in Sitwe where 140,000 Rohingya have been held under armed guard for 5 years. But we got away long enough to meet a Rohingya contact. Kamal is 20. He taught himself English via YouTube on a smartphone. And on the same smartphone, he showed me pictures just sent by friends further north. They were all of dead people.
It's been 5 years that we are living here in the camps.
You can't move, you can't get out?
We cannot get out. We cannot.
No one is safe here, he told me. It's got worse since Aung San Suu Kyi came to power.
So, if it was Aung San Suu Kyi sitting here, what would you say to her?
I will say, please stop the war. I will directly say to her that Aung San Suu Kyi, we are not extremists Bengali from Bangladesh, and we are not also illegal immigrant from Bangladesh. We are the citizen of this country as we have history about Rohingya.
As I'd left the government official's headquarters, he'd handed me a book, a different version of reality which dismissed Muslims as Bengalis, interlopers in a Buddhist land. Well, this is the book, and in it the term Rohingya is referred to in inverted commas throughout. Whole chapters are devoted to discussion of what it calls the R word. The term Rohingya, it says, has no basis in fact or in history. It's a political construct based on a myth. The Rohingya, in other words, don't exist. They are non-people. And it's beginning to look like the Aung San Suu Kyi regime wants to get rid of them once and for all. Under armed guard, some journalists were allowed into the conflict area on a government tour. They witnessed burned villages and some of the 12,000 Myanmar citizens evacuated by the military to protect them from Rohingya insurgents. But this new conflict's a very lopsided war, and as ever, the victims are mostly civilians. 40,000 Rohingya have now fled into Bangladesh. Some haven't made it alive. Many, many tens of thousands more have been displaced within Rakhine, and it's likely the numbers killed will inexorably rise.